and welcome to the Nix Stop. This is Phil and Molly Nix, and we appreciate you joining us here on this video. We're here going to discuss a little things that we might be doing going to Alaska, and things that you might want to do if you decide to go. So in that, we just don't get in the van or the motorhome and say let's go. It takes a lot of required planning, and in that, if it was up to me, we'd get in the van, the RV, and willy-nilly it across the country. But Molly here has different ideas, and she does a great job of planning the trip. And if you want to talk about that, you can. If not,
We use a program called Trip Wizard. Phil and I are both in our 60s. Maybe if we were 20-year-olds, we would willy-nilly across the country. But
I feel like I'm 20.
But we don't do that. This is my Bible, and in my Bible, I put down every stop that we make along the way at all of the RV parks. In that, it tells us whether it's been paid for, if we have electrical hookup, water hookup, or we're dry camping that night. It also has the correct address of the RV site, because a lot of the RV sites have P.O. boxes, and we need the actual address to put into the GPS in order to find it. Depending on the route that you take,
just to stop you right there, we do use a Garmin that is specified for RVs and truckers, so you don't go down the wrong road, like a low bridge or whatever. So go ahead.
But we put all that information into the Trip Wizard, and it outlines how far you want to drive each day. Phil and I choose to drive 5 hours a day, and I will give you an example. Yesterday we left Shelby, Montana, and we had probably 50-mile-an-hour winds and a driving rain for the whole drive to get us into Canada.
White Knuckle City.
And it was a hard drive. So we try and not drive more than 5 hours. There's a rule that you want to try and your best to get in by like 3 o'clock so that you have plenty of daylight. Now, once you get in to the Alcan and to Alaska, you don't have to worry about the daylight. But other places, you want to get in at daylight so that you can hook and unhook and get everything ready for the setup for the night.
Yeah. It's been a big help. Really has.
And, we try to do a variety of places. We try to do, like I said before, dry camp in some places. We belong to a service called Harvest Host, where we camp at museums and golf courses and breweries, which are Phil's favorite.
Breweries.
And when we do that, we're dry camping using the generator. And then we like to stay at other campsites that, if we're staying for a couple of days, we like those to be a little bit nicer campsites so that I can do laundry and grocery shopping along the way. It just makes the trip run a lot smoother.
And just to kind of go back at the very beginning, starting this trip to Alaska, like I said, we just don't hop in and go. There's a lot of planning that goes into it, things that you have to do to prepare, like getting the oil change, making sure you have proper tires, the tires are good, that are going to make it. Just little maintenance things that you have to do. And then, once you have all that done, those are important, and you need to have those ready, so when you do travel, especially when you get up on the Alcan, it's a necessity.
Well, and just to let you know that we've done this several times now, and we get questions from people all over, and they are really almost scared to do this drive. And if you're prepared, it's a beautiful way to see the country.
And that's what we're kind of hoping with this video, kind of show you that it's not that bad of a trip, but one that you, like I said, take your time, and that's one of the suggestions that we would have, that we would make, that we haven't, maybe didn't do the first time that we came up to Alaska. We didn't take our time, but we do need to take a time just to enjoy the trip, not be stressed out about getting to Alaska, but just take your time in doing it.
Well, and we appreciate you tuning in to these videos, and if you like them, we would appreciate if you'd hit that follow button. We're trying to get to 100 followers.
Not 100,000, 100. But yeah, we would like that. But one thing too is we're going to just kind of take you along the way, and we traveled across from Alabama over to Texas and then up through Oklahoma. Our daughter came with us to Oklahoma, and she got on a plane and went back to Alaska. Flew from there. She couldn't make the whole trip with us, but then we came on up, and we came close to the border to Shelby, which Molly mentioned. And then we came across the border, and that's one thing that people, we've seen videos that people are scared about going to the video or going across the border, and we haven't had a problem yet going across.
No.
As long as you don't have anything illegal.
Well, and I from what we've seen, there's several things that they ask you, and we've really never been searched. We've never had an issue. We've never had a problem. So as long as you abide by their rules, and we had someone ask us the other day about, produce, and that they had to eat all their bananas or their oranges before we went across the border. We've never had that issue before. And so we've always been ready to go across the border, had our passports ready and all the documentation for our vehicles, and that seems to be what they're most interested is in, that, and that we've always had a smooth sail across the border.
And I will throw this out there because Molly brought it up to me, and I don't realize I do this, but she says that I call suspicion when somebody asks me a question or something and I giggle. She says that's a red flag. Evidently, when he asked, when we came across the border, he asked if we had any illegal drugs. I kind of laughed and said no. Molly says that's a red flag. I don't seem to think so, but it didn't cause us to be searched.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
All right, are you done for the day?
I'm done today, and thank you for joining us. And again, subscribe and like, and we'll keep going along and taking you with us, and we'll show you some sceneries along the way. And we will see you
on the
next stop.